This episode is brought to you by the American Red Cross. The start of the new year is one of the most challenging times to collect blood products. Severe winter weather can often lead to widespread blood drive cancellations. But you can be the life-saving difference this January and make an appointment to give now. In the hour it takes to donate blood, you can help save the lives of patients in Denver and across the country. To download the Red Cross Blood Donor app, visit redcrossblood.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to make an appointment. Just a note, we will be off on Monday for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, but we'll be back in your feeds on Tuesday. Oh, and this episode gets a little explicit. Today is Friday, January 16th. I'm Bree Davies, and here's what Denver's talking about. Welcome to CityCast Denver, the show about the city that is finally getting some renewed grocery competition with the announcement that Aldi is coming to Colorado in the next 5 years. I bring this up because we posted about it on our Instagram this week, and we got a comment that said, Aldi is like if Trader Joe's and Walmart had a baby, but in a good way. And I was intrigued. Justine, I'm curious in a minute what you think, but you are, Olivia, you're a former Aldi shopper.
Yeah, I'm from the Midwest. We got Aldi there.
What do you like about it?
I like the kind of no frills setting of it. From what I remember, a lot of it's like the stuff is still kind of like on pallets in boxes, like when you're walking through, and it's like, the Aldi that was by my house growing up, it wasn't really like aisles and stuff. I remember it kind of like snaking around, and like there weren't like big shelves. It was like everything was on pallets kind of, and like all the stuff was on its same
warehousey
style.
Yeah,
Sort of like Costco, except way smaller and less overwhelming, and no card needed,
no membership.
I always really liked Aldi, though. It was cheap, and
that's what I've heard.
I said on the Instagram, I was like, we've got another institution where people will start making it plural for no reason.
I did see that
because I call it Aldi's.
That's a Colorado problem too.
It's an everywhere problem. I've got family that says Panera's. Like, it's just anything that can be made plural. So Aldi's, I did it. So it's like just be prepared. It's gonna be plural as soon as it gets here. So
Justine. I thought it was Aldi's.
Yeah, I know. It's like, it's one of those words.
Have you been to one before, Justine? I have not.
Well, I have spent a lot of unfortunate time in Florida, as you remember. And I never went into an Aldi's, but everyone loves Aldi's down there. And there was always a debate between Publix, which is like the fancier grocery store, and Aldi's. But everyone was like, if you want to save money and get a lot of stuff, you go to Aldi's.
Okay.
So like Publix was get a everyone likes their sandwiches and their cakes, but if you're gonna do grocery shopping, you go to Aldi.
And it's also like Aldi brand stuff, like Trader Joe's kind of.
Yes, that's what I've heard.
I remember them having really good snack foods when I'm
excited about that part.
I liked Aldi. And don't forget your quarter to unlock the grocery cart.
I just learned this. So you have to put in a quarter to get a grocery cart in the first place, I think.
But you get
it back?
Yes, you get it back. It just like, they're all kind of like, they have like, they're chained together, and then the quarter unlocks it, and then it spits out your quarter at the end.
Yeah, okay. I learned that. I didn't go to the Aldi, but because my algorithm being in Miami would show me like this little device for your keychain for your Aldi.
Etsy sells people of 3D printed shit to like
just fit the
bypass it if you can't find a quarter. I don't know. Just put a quarter in your little thing in your car in the little middle and take it with you.
Your Aldi's quarter.
I know. I was just like, when was the last time I had a quarter? The only time I ever need a quarter is when we're at Torres and my son wants to get something from the toy machines in the front.
Go break $1 at the bank and keep a quarter. Keep a quarter in your car for your Aldi.
I'm so excited.
I go to laundromat still, so I got quarters.
I'm triggered.
Okay, we'll get your quarters together.
Yeah.
We're coming to you from the beautiful... Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I'm Bree Davies. It's Friday. We're looking back at the news of the week. We're going to be talking about the future of the Secret Garden Cafe, or what will become of it after the union busting situation last year. We're talking about why food and going out feels so expensive. And there's a new controversial homeless shelter providers no keys policy that we're going to be talking about. Again, we're coming to you from the beautiful IDK studios in 5 Points. Producer Olivia Julova is here. Hi, Olivia.
Hello.
And our green chili correspondent, Justine Sandoval. Hi.
Hello.
Before we get started, a little business. Olivia, we have a members-only event coming up.
Whoop, whoop. First one of the year.
Yay!
On an undisclosed date. Only
you have
members,
to be a member.
If you know, you know. You have to become a member to know. I'll send you an email. But it's going to be at Convivio Cafe, which was our Best Bar Restaurant winner at the Denver Awards in 2025,
So cool.
which was amazing. So we're going to be hosting a little evening event there. And we're going to be doing, so I've been seeing on social media a bunch of people doing bingo cards for the new year for like their goals and stuff they want to accomplish. And I was planning on making one of these, and I was like, wait, what if I involved everyone in my hyperfixation? So we're all going to do it, and you guys are going to enjoy it.
Honestly, I'm looking forward to it because I didn't really do resolutions or anything this year.
Yes.
I kind of fell flat, and so I'd love to have one more chance before
Well, and
we
it's
get
also,
into the next month.
I like this because it's like a little easier than resolutions. It's like, oh, instead of something big, like I'll give you some ideas of stuff I'm putting on mine. Like I want to bake bread this year. So like something easy I can cross off my list is bake bread. That's a one-time thing that I can just cross off.
So it's instead of become like the best baker, it's just
like
bake
instead
some
of
bread.
like start a bakery, it's bake a loaf of bread, you know? And so like things that you can accomplish, things that you, or like, you know, plan a date with your friend. You know, I've got one that says have 5 co-working dates with friends.
Call my sister-in-law.
I will.
Thank you.
You know, so like
She wants to hang out with you, but she's very bad at making plans.
I will, you know, so it's just like setting, you know, things you want to do this year and putting them there so you can visualize it. And so we're all going to
have all the materials.
We'll have all the stuff there. So you just show up. We're also going to have one for CityCast Denver as a whole. So if you have any ideas of what you want to see from the show,
Help us make our...
come up with some ideas
bingo
for us in the new year. We'll have that too. So you can do that. And
Sounds fun.
Convivio Cafe is really cool. It's a bilingual cafe, so people speak Spanish there. You can try out your Spanish skills if you're still learning,
Good idea.
stuff like that. They have food. They have like savory food, sweet food, caffeine, no caffeine. They're going to have aguas frescas for us.
Sweet.
And they also have alcohol. So anything you want, really, it's going to be there.
But you have to go to membership.citycast.fm to sign up. If you're not a member yet, once you sign up, you will get the information on when that's going to be.
Yeah.
Justine, do you have any resolutions or anything you're thinking about for the new year?
No. You know,
Now I'm perfect.
Nope. It's because every year I feel like you set yourself up for failure. So I really like this, like smaller things.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like just the last few years, everything just continues on like into the next year.
It's
I'm like,
hard.
I have a lot of things I'm working
It's like
on.
lofty goals. You're like, I want to become the president. And it's like, okay, I'm not going to accomplish that in 12 months. Like, what's something?
How about just bake some bread?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I decided to run for office. So I'm like, that's my long
kind of a
goal.
big
That's going to
goal.
take a while.
Yeah.
But one thing I really want to do, they're just like simpler things because I really appreciate like all the people in my life and all of these things, but I don't feel like I showed enough. So this year I want to be better at like sending cards.
Me too. That's on my list.
Yeah.
More snail mail.
Can I tell you the key to that is get a couple packs of like cool stationery. I always get mine a tattered cover or like a cute little, I bet Tallulah Jones has some, and get a pack of forever stamps and then you're set.
Yep.
Because I have a drawer for those and I'm pretty good about sending cards because you've got to set yourself up for success.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
So
yeah.
that's
No,
what I
I
would
want to
do.
be a better friend this year.
Okay, I love that. One more thing before we move on to the news. Our photos are up now from the Denver Awards that our friends at Dude IDK Studios took. If you came to the event and you had one of your photos taken in the front of our beautiful, what's called a step and repeat, you can go. I'll put a link in the show notes. It's on our website. You can pull your photo from there. Maybe share it on social media. Tag us, please. We were so excited to see you all there. Okay, let's get to the news. Man, this news dropped this week, and I think we were especially interested because we covered this initially right when it happened. Was so landlords for the former Secret Garden Cafe, which is that cute little cafe on Cheeseman Park, are looking for a new tenant, and this comes 3 months after they shut down, literally in the middle of employee unionization efforts. Olivia, do you remember what happened? Because I feel like you were just trolling Reddit one day and we saw this.
Well, it
was
crazy to me because my friend McKenna and I had been there literally that week, and we were like, this is the most popping place right now. We had to like share a table with someone when we got there because it was so busy, and it was just
so it was a surprise.
It was the hottest spot, and then I saw something on Reddit that just said they were closed, and I was like, what? And then I went. Their website was gone. Mm-hmm. Their phone was disconnected. Yeah. It was just like they vanished out of thin air. So basically, we found out that like their employees had been in the midst of union negotiations, and so they were supposed to come to the table with the company that week. And instead of when they had their agreed upon meeting date, the company ended up shuttering the restaurant.
Yeah. Like the day before,
like the day before,
right, within 24 hours, I think,
when they were supposed to come to the table to talk about like negotiations and things, pertinent to the union. So then kind of the rug was pulled out from under these people, and like slightly prior to that, they were the employees were starting to like protest and like lobby, like, oh, we're unionizing. These are some of our demands and stuff, and that's when the business owners like shut that down and shut the cafe for the day. And that was like slightly prior to shuttering the doors altogether. So it was just kind of like that shady happened.
Yeah.
And then a couple days later, it shut the whole thing down.
Justine, I don't know if you went there. I feel like as longtime Denverites, we were so excited that something was finally going in there right on the park. Had you been there before?
I had not been there, and I was planning on going because I heard a lot about it. I love, like, I'm also on the board for Historic Denver, so I love the idea of using, like, historic spaces.
The Tears McFarlane House, yeah.
Oh, my gosh, this mixed-use stuff, like Schoolhouse, which I think this group also...
City Street Investors does also run Schoolyard. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Schoolyard.
Or own Schoolyard, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really like these concepts, but... it's disappointing when there's these like shady business practices going on.
That's a little bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah. So
I
was disappointed because I was really excited to check it out. I'd heard a lot about it as one of these spaces. And so it was very disappointing to hear how this all went down.
So the Denver Post is reporting on this because the owners, City Street Investors, have announced that they're looking for a new tenant. They said, quote, there's intense interest in the space from a number of operators around town, really, really good operators. The founder and principal of City Street Investors said, hopefully we'll get a deal concluded here in the next couple of weeks and the new tenant will be able to get in there and do their work. I reached out to Claire Poundstone, who's Associate General Counsel for the UFCW Local 7, the union representing the former employees, and sort of asked her where things were. And she said the union's position is still that they should offer jobs to all laid-off workers, whoever this new operator is, and that they would like the workers' union to be recognized. So far, UFCW hasn't reached any agreements with City Street Investors on the effects of the prior closure. But the chapter is expected to file formal complaints with the National Labor Relations Board, Poundstone said. So it sounds like what she kind of said to me was it kind of depends on who the operator is, because right now this fight is with who was running that restaurant, which happened to be the landlord. So it gets a little murky on like, sure, the union would like those folks to honor it, but who knows if it's going to be a totally new tenant.
Yeah, it felt so weird reading this because it felt like, oh, there was this business and the workers there tried to unionize, and then they were like, screw it, we're just going to like shut this shit down to get rid of the union. And then they're like, oh, cool, we got rid of that. Let's just start a new one. It's clean slate. We got rid of the union problem. Let's just start a new one. And that feels really weird.
Yeah, and I asked her about that, if she had known or if they knew that this was happening prior to seeing the information in the post. And she was like, no. I mean, she's like, we're literally still in the middle of a situation with them. She said, on a side note, City Street investors fired their attorney in the middle of their negotiations. So all she said with that information was that could have delayed the work that they were trying to do with the union workers at the time. But she said we need to look at what it means, what they mean by new owners, what the business structures are. It could be different business entities altogether. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they can carry over the labor conversation, or if those employees would have to start all over again if they were interested in a union. It's in general, it just bums me out because it was such a cool thing to have happen in a space that had not been active for a long time. But at the end of the day, also, I would hope that the employees got to be treated better. It's complicated. This company, City Street Investors, owns a lot of different spaces in Denver when it comes to restaurants and bars and cafes. So
yeah. I think it speaks to the bigger issue too, is like, what is the formula that's going to work for these businesses so their employees are being paid fair wages, and they're having business practices that make sense, but also being able to survive and make a profit. I think it seems a little shadier to people because there's this bigger investment group involved, and it's not so much like a mom and pop coffee shop trying to make it work. There's like a bigger financial investment and people around who could probably come to the table and negotiate with people and figure out something that works. But instead, they just picked up and ran, and then try to come back to obviously a space that people want to use and want to be at. So, that's not the problem. It's like just shutting down these conversations. Like, you can run from it, but not for long, because this is an issue throughout the whole city.
If something reopens there, I think that conversation will still be, people will still be curious about the state of the labor negotiations with the previous situation.
Well, it sounds like something is going to reopen there.
Yes.
So I think that
they've had many interested operators.
Yeah, it sounds like that's going to happen soon. It sounds like they're really trying to have something by spring, which, I mean, it's a perfect location. So,
and that's pretty soon. I mean,
they said a couple weeks. They said a couple weeks.
Well, they're losing money. I'm like, that's a poppin' spot.
It's a perfect spot. I mean, walk around Cheeseman Park, go get a beverage. Ideal.
Yeah. Well, we'll be watching that because I don't know. This is it's such a space that I still wanted to go there so bad. So I'm curious to see what happens. This episode is brought to you by Denver Health. As the backbone of this city for 165 years, they are Denver's most trusted. Denver Health is more than a hospital, more than a doctor, more than a treatment. They are a community. Denver Health is your neighbor, your champion. They offer emergency care, urgent care, and primary care, as well as healthcare in more than 130 other specialties. Most major insurance types are accepted. Oh, and did you know this summer, Denver Health is bringing care closer to home with the opening of the Denver Health Southeast Medical Center at the corner of Evans and Monaco. Serving adult patients, this new clinic will feature adult primary care and specialty care services. Denver Health, with you for life's journey. To find trusted healthcare near you, visit denverhealth.org/citycast for more information. That's denverhealth.org/citycast. Did you know CityCast Denver has a perks program? Every week, we're highlighting some standout deals from our favorite businesses in town to help you support local and save some money. It's a win-win. Here are some highlights from this week. Check out Meow Wolf's Adultiverse Space Rodeo on January 17th and experience the worlds of Meow Wolf Denver transformed into a 21 and up psychedelic party. Saddle up for an intergalactic adventure. Just use code GIDDYUP for $4.20 off an Adultiverse ticket. Offer available for redemption now through January 17th. Or what about Topo Designs? Just visit a Topo Designs retail store and mention this ad to receive 20% off your purchase. Some exclusions apply. Valid until February 1st. Looking for some fun? Check out Green Door and pre-order a curated cannabis box for your Denver trip. Includes edibles, snacks, and local accessories, ready for pickup near your stay. No stress, no lines, just a better trip. Use code DenverPerk for $10 off any experience box. To see a full list of participating businesses, just visit denver.citycast.fm/perks. It's a great way to check out new restaurants, shops, and events in the Mile High City without breaking your budget. And I love that for you. Our next story is sort of tangentially tied to this, which is about eating out. And it's an editorial in the Post from food writer, author, and former guest of the show, Allison Reedy. She asked, is takeout dying? The middle ground between the cost of eating out and cooking is disappearing. She says, ordering takeout used to feel like opting out of effort. Lately, it feels like opting into credit card debt. I do the quiet mental math while waiting in the drive-thru lines. $13 for meals times 4 people adds up to nearly $60 for my family's beloved Good Times burgers and fries. Justine, are you a takeout gal?
Oh my gosh, this resonated with me so much because yes, I am a takeout gal. But lately I'm becoming my mom. I'm like, we got McDonald's at home because it's expensive.
It's expensive.
Like I am, trying to budget right now this year. One of the first things I cut was like the takeout budget.
Yeah.
But like my partner and I the other day came home. We're both tired. Like he works at a hospital. I'm working long hours. We're like, let's just order in. So by the time I get on the app and I'm like ordering everything that we're going to get, it was almost like $60. And I was
for
like,
2 people.
2 people. So I was like, you know what? That's a lot of groceries. We have some beans in the fridge and I made tostadas for dinner for like under $10 because, it's so much money. And it's just, when you're trying to save, it's not worth it. It really motivates you to eat the beans that are in the fridge.
But even I was just at Whole Foods last night because I happened to be in Cherry Creek and I was just picking up a couple items. I was like, I'll do my full grocery shopping later in the week, but I need like milk and some fruits and vegetables and like something take home for us to eat tonight. It was $55. And I was like, is this better? I don't know. It's like food in general is expensive. Olivia, you texted me from the Panda Express drive-thru earlier this week. Are you someone that does takeout a lot?
Honestly, not really. I think the Panda Express drive-thru was maybe my first one of the year.
Good for you.
I've been trying to do it less. Just because it's so expensive, and then also like half the time it's not even worth it because it tastes like crap. you're like, damn, I just spent so much money and this doesn't even taste good. The Panda Express, for the record, was really good.
Well, at least it was good.
I will say it was really good. For some reason, I did have to wait for it, even though I was going through the drive-thru. But it was really good. So, but anyway, no, I don't. I have. Since I started this job, I feel like had a slight issue with like takeout, and like I got a little Uber Eats happy for a while there because I was like ordering Chinese food and stuff, and like that's how they do it now, is through Uber Eats usually. And so I was kind of ordering it, but it's like, if you want like your order of like sesame chicken, but then if you also want like a crab rangoon, God forbid, a girl wants a crab rangoon. Then you're getting up into the numbers there. It's like I'm not even ordering multiple. I'm just ordering a crab rangoon and a dish. And then it's starting to get up there. But then it's like you're playing this mind game. And you're like, well, shit, maybe I should order more because it's like I already have to pay the delivery fee.
Yes.
And then I'm like, meal prep. I'm meal prepping. Like
that's my justification all the time. I'm like, well, this was $30, but if I eat it for lunch tomorrow, then it's only $15.
Girl math. That's my strategy is can I get 2 meals per person out of this?
Yeah.
Because also what you're talking about is the service, the Grubhubs, the Uber Eats that add on the other fees. And that's when it starts to get like, is this worth it or not? A couple of places that we order from regularly do direct, and I've checked like I order from John Holly's, the sushi place. If you call an order, their prices are cheaper than they are on Uber Eats, which I understand because
so many places are like pizza,
but you have to do the work.
No, pizza. It is pizza. Like one time, I was trying to order Pizza Hut, which Paul is gonna be like clutching his pearls back there. Okay, Pizza Hut. Paul, he's giving me the All right, Pizza Hut, apologist, whatever. I go on the like Uber Eats app or whatever, make my pizza. it's whatever. Then I go on pizzahut.com or whatever. It's like $10 cheaper with delivery. I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? What are we actually doing here?
Then you're like questioning your own, like, what decision am I making?
The amount of moral, just like, I don't know. I have tied my morals to the amount of takeout I get. I feel like a bad person now.
I don't think you're the only person.
I feel
really
bad.
common.
I'm like, wow, I'm a terrible person when I'm getting too much takeout. And it's like, how did I get to this point?
That's how I feel when you see like the Uber Eats, like all the orders you made.
Oh, I can't even look at that. I'm like, I should go to jail.
Well,
I'm bad.
I canceled like the Uber One or whatever.
Because supposedly saving you money.
Well, I was because I'm like, no, because I'm just still spending $60 on takeout every time. So I started calling up there and like picking up, but prices have went up too. Like it used to be like $13 for the sesame chicken, and at my favorite place, it's almost like $18 now for the entree. And I'm like,
it's so painful.
I love it, but
it's like
even picking it up is still like you really have to think about it.
I know, and then you still gotta go.
Yeah,
and then I'm hangry at that point, and then I'm like, I can't make this decision. Like, it's too tough. Well, obviously, money is a huge factor here, and that's kind of what Allison talks about. She says restaurants are dealing with the same things the rest of us are: runaway rents, soaring food costs, at least in Denver, a tip to minimum wage that's nearly $5 higher per hour than that in the most notoriously expensive New York City. And all of this is happening in an industry that's always operated on famously thin margins. So, there is something to be said for the restaurants having to pass that cost on in some capacity. I don't know. I think it's that, but it also goes deeper, like where our foods comes from, how those food systems are or not operating effectively. Why is labor, the labor part is hard too, because people need to get paid a living wage. But like she said, the notoriously thin margins in restaurants can make it really difficult.
The math is hard. As someone who's wanted to be a burrito lady my whole life, I'm always like crunching the numbers. And one thing I've learned is that the food business is hard to turn a profit for a while. Yeah. And it's difficult. So the math isn't mathing for people.
But what happens when people stop coming? What happens when the price gets too high that people just have enough? Like, then what happens to trying to pay people a fair wage? Then you can't pay them any wage.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do then? I don't know. There's a line in there somewhere. It doesn't seem like we've reached it yet. But like at some point, people will have enough and like won't be able to do it anymore. And it's like I feel like we inch closer and closer every day. So I'm like, I am cooking at home more than I ever have, and I don't think it's because I'm getting older. I think it's because I don't know.
Because it's
feel sad every time if I take out.
Well, it's like, and also if you're going to spend the money, like I told my partner the other day, I was like, let's save these takeout orders and we'll go have a nice dinner next week.
That's a good idea.
Was like, when the Wicked margaritas were at Chili's, I bought into the hype. Okay, I did. Sue me.
Honestly, Chili's prices too are
I'm just
reasonable.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not saying that. I went. I got both Chili's margaritas. I went with my boyfriend. We went. We got dinner. I got the freaking TikTok triple dipper, what have you. He got a beer and a burger. It was like $70. And I'm like, shit. If we hadn't gone to effing Chili's, we could have gone somewhere nice. I just wasted $70 on going to Chili's. I felt bad in that moment. I'm not going to lie to you. I was like, $70 on this, on like mozzarella sticks. Like, what did I just do? Like that was, it wasn't though. It really, my stomach hurt. Like it was
you didn't have the cheese pool. Was it worth it?
No, it was not, like literally. I mean, so much of this is like the TikTokification of like us eating. Because, I watch people every day on TikTok like, the cheese po, the triple dipper. And I was like, yeah, I need that. I got it. And I was like, damn, the chicken tenders.
Did it deliver the way that TikTok made you believe it would?
The chicken tenders were burnt to a crisp. There was like no tender in that chicken. It was not tender. It was not tender.
This was Olivia's grievances with Chili's.
I just am saying like, it was sad because I was like, damn, I spent real money here.
Well, I like this idea you're saying, Justine, though, of the value of like, if I take all of the money that I would have spent on Uber Eats orders and just go out once a month
somewhere nice
for a nice meal. Maybe that's a better trade-off. I'm thinking about like, we buy a giant, I don't know, 5-pound bag of rice or something from Costco.
Yeah.
Then you could buy a bag of pinto beans from someone, especially during chili season, you get them on the side of the road, beans and rice. Well, maybe that's the way to go.
If you want things like mozzarella sticks and chicken tenders, they sell those in frozen bags at the grocery store. And if you put them in the air fryer, they taste exactly the same.
I literally did that the other day because I almost went to Cane's.
No, they taste exactly the same.
It's like the Ciscofication of food. At a certain level, all of it is coming from the same food distributor anyway. So it's like, why don't we just cut out the middleman?
We got triple dipper at home. I should have just done that. And then I would still have $70 and I wouldn't be bitching about it right now.
But even when it's good, because we went, it was our anniversary, and so we went to Estes Park like overnight, and on the way home I'm like,
perfect.
Let's go to Call Your Mother because I love Call Your Mother.
Yeah.
It was $40 for 2 coffees
and 2
like
bagels?
2 bagel sandwiches. I mean, it's delicious. Love Call Your Mother, but maybe like, for your anniversary.
That's the only time we can afford bagels now.
So this week I bought a bag of bagels and all the stuff to make bagel sandwiches at home because I love a bagel, Sammy, and a coffee. But man, I was like, am I like one of those people now? Like, this is expensive, but no, I thought that was a crazy price for bagel.
I've started to just feel like such a defeated person now. Like the grocery store, the restaurant, the fast, like this is the 3rd time I've been to Chipotle in the last year, and it's been disgusting. And I was like, this is a deal, right? You can get a burrito for under $10. If you get a drink, it's like $3.
If you're not getting guac.
I don't get guac. Gross.
Well, that's a mistake.
But I'm saying like it seems on paper it's like relatively affordable. And then I was like, but what am I paying for? This sucks. This food, even the food is like not even good.
No, you gotta get guac.
Well, I wonder in the next couple of years what it will look like. What takeout will look like. Because it's expensive.
This is kind of like we need the housing bubble to crash, and it's like we need the eating out bubble to crash, and like we need that to happen so we can have lower prices again. So I don't know what. I'm not an economist. Something happened, please. I don't want anyone to get hurt, but please something happened.
Well, we'd love to hear from you. Are you eating out less? Or how are the prices impacting you or not? What are you seeing? How are you even looking at your own habits? I think that's really interesting to me. Are the personal negotiations we're making in our minds around using Uber Eats or not, or going out to eat or not?
What's the cheapest takeout you've gotten this year? Call in with that.
And that's good.
That's you would order again.
Yeah. Let us know what that is. 720-500-5418. Give us a call. You can shoot us a text or leave us a voicemail. Let us know. Do you have a hack? How do you feel about it? Now we're talking about Urban Alchemy, which is one of the 3 providers who took over the city contracts for running shelters here. Salvation Army did it for a long time. But this particular story this week in Denverite was about Urban Alchemy taking away the keys from residents at the Aspen, which is a shelter in the former Doubletree Hotel. So folks that are staying there no longer have access to their own rooms with a key card. Instead, they must ask shelter staff to let them into their rooms anytime they want to return home. How many times do you guys go in and out of your house every day? Like, I was just trying to think in practical terms. What would this be like if I needed to ask somebody every time I needed to go in my room? Be like, I don't know, 10, 20 times?
I can't even.
When I work from home, sometimes it's 0.
Fair.
Like, not gonna lie to you, sometimes I'm not moving.
I don't know. Like, well, I have the dog, so I go in and out a lot throughout the day. I lock myself out of my house a lot. So I'm constantly having to go find another key to get back in. And I just think, it would be irritating. And it's same thing too, like with people who are experiencing homelessness, not being able to have a place to go to the bathroom all day. Like, I don't know. It's just that taking away, when we're trying to help people get into a better place and out of like situations, taking away their like autonomy to be able to do things for themselves, it kind of like is a little soul crushing. I think as someone who like has experienced in the past where I was having like mental health issues and needing like some help and guidance. One thing I did not want is people to like treat me like a child or take away the things I was, had control of. And sometimes it's just a simple thing of being able to have access to your space without having to go. Like, I think in the article, someone mentions that they felt like a 6-year-old having to have permission to go in and out of their room.
Of your own room.
And then there's another part of the thing, they compared it to the Four Seasons. And I'm like, at the Four Seasons, you can access your own room and do whatever you want in your room without anybody bothering you. So,
well, that was part of the changes too, is there's going to be more room checks and you can't invite people into your rooms. And I mean, I understand these are enacted for safety reasons, but I think that safety and autonomy, that's where the parallel or it's tough to balance those two things. Urban Alchemy says this was in response to desires from the city for more accountability and to, quote, ensuring guests receive more regular touch points with staff. But then what I thought was interesting too was that Denverite looked back at some quotes from Mayor Johnston's campaign promises, because homelessness was obviously his marquee issue. He said it that in his campaign, during campaign time, he said, we believed it is possible that we could bring people off the streets and into housing and shelter that offer dignity and civility. That included a locked door, a bed, access to showers and kitchens and bathrooms, your own heat, your own air conditioning. So I think, again, this really questions the autonomy part of this picture.
I don't know. I kind of have a different perspective on this, honestly. Like, I was kind of reading back on some of the coverage of this shelter back in October. Like, I haven't seen an updated number, but back in October, they were up at like 431 calls to police to this shelter. For things like overdoses, violence, disturbances, a lot of things happening. And, they cited that's why they decided to do this. And I was just thinking back, when I was a reporter at Colorado Community Media, I worked on this housing series. I met a man who was formerly unhoused. He actually lost both of his legs when he was unhoused due to the elements, but he kind of shared some of his experiences with me, and he told me that honestly, like, most of the shelters he stayed in and around Denver, he lived in Aurora a lot of the time. He was like, almost all the shelters I stayed in were a big room, and it was mostly just like a big congregate room. And I never wanted to go to sleep because there were so many people around me that would steal my stuff and try to hurt me. And so to me, this still feels a lot better than that. And
absolutely.
It still sounds like they have a locked door, even though they have somebody that has to unlock it for them. And like, I understand that it's like kind of a step back from the autonomy, but this still is. They still have access to a private room, they still have access to the shower. They still have access to this space, they just had to take a step back to, do this. And like, I don't know. I think that like, this is a property like that this is owned, and it's like these people living there aren't going to have the same like things afforded to them as like an apartment tenant, because they're not,
that's
renting
where it gets tough for me.
The property.
That's where it gets tough for me and feels a little bit like babysitting. But I totally appreciate your point that this is still a massive step up from where a lot of our shelter system has come, which is, like you said, big open rooms. I mean, not only do people maybe not feel safe to fall asleep with their belongings, I'm just thinking about the COVID of it all and not being able to sort of isolate yourself, even if you're not, if you're not feeling good. But so I do think that that's an important point. I can just see where some folks had been staying here since I think 2023 and were like, I feel like I'm being punished all of a sudden. But the calls for service too are obviously, is this just a way of bringing that down?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is babysitting to a certain extent, because they were getting so many calls, and obviously it's never everyone, it's always like, there are always people that are following the rules and doing it right. But if they're getting so many calls, they're like, we have to change something. And like, ultimately, I would hope it would be for the safety of people. Like, no, we don't want like other people going in your room, because that's when, we've seen bad shit happening. Like, someone could turn on you and like try to steal your stuff or attack you, or like, that's when, someone might bring drugs in and you might be tempted to use them. And like, I don't know, like, I think it would be really sucky to be in that position of like feeling like, oh, I have this autonomy over this thing, and having that pulled out from under you. But also, I can see the perspective of why they would do this.
This type of like control factor is also in like other public housing, like Decatur House. It's only over off of like 14th Decatur by the stadium. It's only women are allowed to stay there, single moms. So they like monitor everyone who comes in and out, and you have to sign in and out. You can't have a male partner, male roommate, anything there. I know even in like other housing, like the one off of like Spear by the King Supers, they only residents are allowed in. You have to sign in and out to go into those facilities. So this is kind of a thing that they've done with people who are using public housing or like low income housing.
Yeah. I mean, I've never been in this experience, so I can't, speak to it. I mean, I was just thinking, like, is this similar to how it feels in a dorm or other spaces where you're sort of living together, but you're not? And I
just think it's different because like in a dorm, you're paying to be there.
Sure.
And like,
sure.
This one is like, you're trying to get back on your feet. This is a social service, and you're there, and it's like, the people that own this social service, ultimately have control over it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're kind of at the mercy of that. And like, there are so many horror stories of like terrible things happening at homeless shelters, and just like a lot of violence and stuff. And so like, even at this shelter, they've had a bad past of like violence and stuff happening there. So I don't know. I mean, it sounds like they're trying to do something. I don't know if this is it, if this is what's going to help.
I think that's kind of the question remains to be seen is how does this play out in the next 6 months? Do they see a huge drop in those calls? Do they see,
And does this help people like overall? I remember a story of a friend of mine who they lived in the shelter with their mother when they were growing up, and it was a women's shelter. One of the things was you had to be sober to go in every night. So they like do a breathalyzer to go in. The problem was their mother was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
So they had nowhere else to go but this shelter, and the mother would try to sober up and stuff and get them into the shelter every night. But they remember one night they got turned away, and that they felt devastated because that was the only place that they had safety for the time. And because, the mother had an issue, they weren't able to get that safety and protection for the night. So we have rules in place like that are supposed to protect like the overall well-being, but we don't see how it can ripple down too. So what does that look like going forward? Like, how do we give people a place and shelter and dignity and the ability to, control their own lives while keeping everybody safe and making sure it's going to work for everyone in the long term?
Yeah, this is sort of, we're just at the beginning of these new providers operating these shelters, which had documented issues in the recent past for sure. So I think this is just one of those, let's see how it goes too, because maybe this does end up working really well. What I thought was interesting was they have a staff member on every floor. That's what they're going to be doing. I wondered if does this take staff away from doing other things? But I mean, like they're saying, it keeps folks in contact with everybody that's living there. So I really think it's kind of a remains to be seen. If this model works, if this works for Denver, if this works for these shelters, I think the numbers will tell us. It's time for wins and fails. Our Rocky Mountain highs and lows. Our wins and fails of the week. Things that ruled, things that sucked. As usual. Start with our fails so we can end on a happy note. Justine, what's your fail this week?
Okay, my fail this week. I actually saw this on TikTok before I saw it on the news. But a RTDA line hit a truck on Tuesday that was trying to beat the train in Aurora.
Oh, no.
So the crash happened at Smith Road and Sable at like 10 in the morning on Tuesday. And the driver is like waiting. The crossing things are down, and they decide that they don't want to wait for it. So they're trying to get through, and they barely get through the last one, and the train clips the back, and they're like camper shell or truck shell thing like goes flying off, and they take off. So the driver of the truck fled the scene. Luckily, there weren't any injury. There was one injury on the train, and someone was checked out, but they were okay. But people were flung around after they hit this car.
This was the light rail.
The light rail, the A line. And then the A line was shut down for about 3 hours on Tuesday morning because of this. And they had to shuttle people to the airport. So, yeah, this is my fail of the week, white truck driver. Driver of the white truck. Sorry, I don't know what your race was, driver of the truck. But whoever was driving that truck, it just speaks to the big problem of inconsiderate, impatient drivers who not only put themselves at risk, put people on the train at risk, and you made people late to the airport.
Also, it's the light rail. It's not a traditional train. Like, it doesn't take that long,
No.
right? It's for a light rail to cross, because there's a couple tracks I go through. Sometimes I do get stuck at the actual railroad, and that can be like 10 minutes, but this is like, I don't know, less than 2 minutes total between the like things coming down. Like, are you that impatient?
Yeah, and I know it gets annoying. I'm in that area. The light rail goes right next to my house. Sometimes I get caught in the crossing, and I'm like, this is weird. Why are the lights doing? I don't know, but I know that a train is coming, so just wait.
So be patient.
Yeah.
Maybe you should try taking the train.
Yeah, well, and that made me mad because I, as an A-line user,
I was
would
like,
be
get
so
on it.
pissed.
Oh, yeah. I was like, get on the train, buddy.
So, yeah, shame on you, driver.
Shame on you. Just be a little more patient.
Interesting.
Olivia, what's your fail?
So the legislative session started.
Oh, Lord.
Welcome back, people.
Oh, it is.
We're here.
This is true.
But so members of the House of Reps voted this week to change a resolution that was sent over by the Senate. But basically what they did was, within the resolution, Governor Jared Polis is referred to as His Excellency.
Oh, the title change.
And so members from both sides of the aisle in the House have voted to strike and exchange that with honorable, because this is a move to a nod to no kings, and they say there are no kings in democracy. And there was a whole kind of like speech and show about this, and I just kind of thought it was a waste of time and a little bit performative. I felt like,
well, you know what? Those hands crossed the aisle to make this one happen.
I just feel like we've got a lot of bigger fish to fry, and this was just like, okay, like, cool.
Yeah.
You did it, I guess. Like, you got him good. Okay. Like, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of bigger stuff going on right now, and this one was just like, all right, good job, I guess. So I don't know. It's just a fail to me. I just don't care. And I'm just like, all right. So
Justine, thoughts?
I was there.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think, Justine?
I was confused as to what was going on at that moment, and I was like, wait. And then I heard His Excellency part when they were reading it. I'm like, I looked up from my phone from the gallery. Sorry, everyone. At the moment, I was just like, what is this? But yeah, it's part of like the opening day stuff. They do like a fun little back and forth between the Senate and the House. And it's part of like the whole opening day, like
festivities.
And then they do stuff like at the end of the session too, where they play pranks on each other. So it's like part of the thing. But I could see like, there's a
I was gonna
budget
say
shortfall that is insane.
Going
I don't know. I felt for a lot of our leaders going in there on opening day, because I'm like, this is going to be a lot.
Because there's like the tradition of this sort of goofiness, but then it's like the realities.
It just didn't even feel that goofy though. It was like,
yeah, that's why. Because at first I didn't know what was going on. I was like, wait, are they really voting it?
It wasn't really that funny.
Yeah,
it wasn't funny. It was like, okay.
I think that's what it was. It wasn't funny.
Well,
sorry,
maybe
everyone.
our politicians aren't really known for jokes.
For being the
So,
funniest people.
Yeah.
But not intentionally, anyway.
Yeah.
oh my gosh. Well, I'm gonna try not to cry. This is really awful. This story struck me. On January 2nd, a teenager was hit and killed while crossing Calumet at 11th, and the person drove away and left Angelo's body in the street, and he died. And I mean, this speaks to so many things to me. One, this mom lost her son, that the person drove away, and that this is how people are driving in Denver. It has deadly consequences. And instead of like spending time grieving, she's having to raise money on GoFundMe to pay for his funeral. And it came across my feed in social media. I didn't know this family, but I just was so moved to just read the words of his family and how upset they were. He leaves behind his 3 sisters who he loves very much. And that she had to find that out about her son, that he was left there. I'm going to put a link to the GoFundMe in the show notes. Again, I don't know this family. I donated because I just can't imagine being a family having to try to raise money for funerals are expensive. I don't know if people know this really, but just the whole process can be pretty expensive if you want to give your family member a proper burial. So my heart goes out to the Brown family and to Angelo. What a sweet kid who, lost his life for something that could have totally been prevented. So just made me really sad. Sweetheart. Okay. Our wins this week. Things that were good, that got us excited and happy. Olivia, what's your win this week?
We're getting a new stamp.
We're getting a new stamp.
Woo! Stamps.
Justine's going to be needing some stamps.
Yay! The U.S. Postal Service will commemorate the 150th anniversary of Colorado becoming a state with the issuance of Colorado statehood, a forever stamp featuring a photograph of Jagged Mountain by nature photographer John Fielder.
Oh, nice.
This will be issued on Saturday. There's going to be a freaking party. Well, okay, party might be a strong word, but there's going to be a first day of issue event at History Colorado. Free, open to the public, on Saturday, January 24th, 9 a.m. because people at the post office do stuff early.
I guess that's early.
And yeah, so we're getting a new stamp, and it looks really sick.
His photographs are John Fielder's photographs are part of the reason that I think Colorado is known for our beauty, because he captured it so well. So to see it on a stamp is a really cool way to commemorate.
I love
work.
A stamp. I'm excited for a new stamp. Call me crazy. I'm getting wild. At the stamp release party. It's going to be lit. Me and the girls going to be out there. We're going to be mimosas flowing. But yeah, so shout out new Colorado stamp. I'm really hyped for that.
Get ready, everyone. I'm sending you a note with the new Colorado stamp. I'm like, this is right up my alley.
That's right. I mean, I love a good stamp. I've been using all my forever stamps that have Santa on them. I'd love to put
use
something
up the
new
Santa
in the
stamps.
rotation.
Get Colorado in here.
Well, I'll go. Mine is just a shout out to the Colorado Symphony. They've been doing these advertisements on buses that catch my eye every time. And it's just one of the members of the symphony posing with their instrument. And it's like, our state, your symphony.
Nice.
And it's just like a very simple campaign. But I love the artists individually getting representation and just getting to kind of be a rock star for a minute. And I just thought, whoever thought of this campaign, it seems very simple, but every time I see one, I'm like, ooh, the cello player, ooh, viola, ooh, French horn, who's playing French horn? And then I go and I look, and I thought it's cool to recognize the musicians individually.
Yeah, that's fun.
I love it. That. Okay, Justine, take us out. What's your win this week?
Okay, my win this week is the Denver Nuggets, in partnership with Ticketmaster and a Seattle-based startup called One Court, have introduced a new tactile broadcasting system at Ball Arena. So the goal is so that fans with low vision or who are visually impaired can feel the basketball game along with everybody. So I had to take notes because this is really cool. I want to get it right. Basically, usually they have to depend on just hearing it. But now with the system, there are actually monitors inside the jerseys of each player and on the basketball. So as the game's happening, they have these pads and they can fill all of the actions on the court. So I just thought it was really cool because I love accessibility.
Same.
I love everybody being able to participate. That's my thing. So this is just this really cool new way that fans can go beyond just relying on hearing the game.
Yeah.
You're able to be there and everyone knows it's so fun. Nothing like being in the arena, but you're only able to tell if a basket's made or something. You hear everyone cheer. This time you could feel with the rest of the audience what they're seeing and have that experience. So it's really cool.
I love this.
Fans who have used it so far love it. And they're saying it's like a whole new experience for them to enjoy the game. There are 5 of these devices and they're available free of charge at each game.
Oh,
So if you want one, you need one, go ahead and ask. Hopefully this really takes off and it
I
becomes
love
a
it.
thing all over.
Yeah.
And there'll be more than 5. And anybody who's coming down can use this device that needs it.
Oh, that's so cool.
So that was
I
the
want them to
coolest
get
thing.
more. I want to use one.
I
I
know.
want to know. I want to experience it. It's so cool.
It reminded me of the vibrating dance floor at Brewability
Oh.
for low hearing folks. Like
so cool.
just another way to engage another sense. And
Yes.
That's so
you
fun.
can, you know, everybody
love
can be
it.
a
That's
fan.
awesome.
So made me so happy.
Love
Go
that.
Nuggets. Go startup company.
Oh.
Oh yeah. They also really are cute. They look like little basketball courts.
Yes, it
Oh,
has
that's
the
awesome.
basketball court
Yeah,
on
they're
it.
super cute.
That's awesome. Well, I can't help but notice your Broncos jersey. Justine, how are you feeling about the Broncos?
You know, I am a true fan, so I am feeling like we're going to the Super Bowl this year. We're going to win. But I'm also, you know, a lifelong fan, so I know that my dreams and hopes could be taken all away. But I still have faith in the Mile High Magic, so let's see what we do.
I was thinking
Stay
about this
tuned.
last night because Denver has it lit up orange and blue. Meow Wolf is lit up orange
Yeah.
and blue. There's this like Christmas tree thing on 6th Avenue by my house that they've done orange and blue. So I think it's not just
Everyone's
not just
ready.
you.
Speaking of takeout, though, this week we did have takeout because Blackjack Pizza had the Bronco pizza deal. And if you ordered it on Wednesday between like a certain hour, you got entered to win playoff tickets. So we were like, oh, this is an investment in pizza this week. So I had Blackjack for the first time since
God.
elementary school, probably, because I used to feed it to the DPS. all
I know. I
the
was like, I haven't had blackjack since the 90s, but
Yeah.
you know, all the more reason.
time.
Well, Justine, Olivia, thanks so much for joining me. This was really fun.
Thank
you.
That's all for today here on CityCast Denver. Our producers this week were Paul Caroli, Olivia Jewell-Love, Matthew Rogers, and Lizzie Goldsmith. We recorded Dude IDK Studios in 5 Points with support from Jacob Rupp and Nick Holmby. Peyton Garcia writes our morning newsletter, Hey Denver. Abby Madigan runs our social media. I'm Bree Davies, your host. Our music is by Los Mocochetes with additional mixing by Tyler Lindgren. If you haven't already, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Instagram at CityCast Denver and tell your Uber Eats driver about us next time you see them. And thanks to our new neighbors, Lori and Calvin H., who just joined our membership program. You can support this show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Denver neighbor today at membership.citycast.fm. You can sign up for our daily newsletter and learn more about us at denver.citycast.fm. See you next week.